As rain and snow wind down, we're taking a look at the weekend. We've got warmer temperatures and rain in the forecast.
We are talking all things snow and snow melt in the Spokane area. That is all coming up next.
And two couples take a plea deal after vandalizing a local church. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. We begin now with breaking news. An Ada County judge has decided that Brian Coburger's defense team will not have genetic evidence and more thrown out of the case. Since last month, Judge Stephen Hippler has been deciding whether some of the DNA evidence that was used to arrest Coburger in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students was gathered legally or illegally. Today, he decided it was gathered legally. He decided cell phone data was also gathered legally and can be used at trial as well. Coburger is accused of killing Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonsalves in November of 2022. We'll have more on what that decision today means when we talk with a legal expert later tonight on KREM 2 News. Also, a big story today, we are talking about a KREM 2 weather impact alert because of the mix of rain and snowfall that is continuing to fall in some places. Turning to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo. Now, Jeremy, how much more do we have?
I really think we're within the hour of watching things wind down. However, this last hour is the final push of the snow. Take a look at Coeur d'Alene. This shows a great picture. Can we, by any chance, pull this full so you can see what's going on here? Look at the lower right-hand corner of your screen. See where that truck is moving? Notice the roads. The roads are finally getting some of that snow to stick. All snow and no accumulation today, with temperatures hovering around freezing, are what caused that. But now that we're on the backside, the sun's a little lower, we've had persistent snowfall, it is starting to stick. And with those temperatures now dropping below freezing in places like Coeur d'Alene, expect it to stick a little more. That's why we're under that weather impact alert, because we knew at some point in the day this was going to happen. 3 to 6 inches of snow still possible over 3,500 feet. Similar story for both the Cascades and the Rockies. However, it is winding down across the Cascades, and it is quickly winding down in eastern Washington. Still coming down as rain farther to the south, but notice the snow slowly creeping its way down into the Palouse. I think that continues. If you're driving to or from the Gonzaga Pullman game or Gonzaga WSU game, excuse me, I apologize. It is likely going to be a little bit nasty on some of those Palouse roads. It always is in a situation like this. Through tonight, most of that snow moves up into the mountains. That's why those weather advisories last a little bit longer. Tomorrow, 37 degrees, mix of clouds and sun. Friday, patchy fog, 41. Saturday, a little bit of rain works its way back in as temperatures soar into the mid-40s.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. And as all of that snow out there does start to melt, it's going to mean a lot of water, and it needs somewhere to go. KREM 2's Regan Gallo has some important reminders for us tonight as it begins to thaw. Regan?
Well, with just about 14 inches of snow fallen this month and about 8 inches still on the ground today, as you can see, my boots are just covered with it. The city cautions the first major melt is on its way because of warmer temperatures.
The snow is creating work for people like Nate Stylen.
I think I got probably another hour to chisel. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
And the snow is just part of the picture as warm temperatures will create puddles and piles of slush. The National Weather Service says lowland locations with frozen ground or areas with deep snow will see significant snow melt. But Stylen is preparing for what's underneath.
Frozen on the bottom, and so it becomes super icy underneath, but you're definitely going to have to get out with the chisel to get that ice underneath. So,
and especially over the weekend, it's forecasted to not get below freezing overnight. So that will really speed up the amount of time, or really speed up how quickly that snow is going to melt.
The city of Spokane urges people to uncover storm drains. They also want to remind people do not drive through puddles and drive slow when there is standing water.
They just have things on top of them, so it's not necessarily anything underground. It's really what's happening on top of the storm drain.
And the city says they are ready for an overflow of water.
But now we have a combined sewer overflow system that can hold up to 18 million gallons of water at one single time with tanks all around the city.
And while the city prepares for massive melt, people in local neighborhoods continue to work, clearing what's here now, one shovel at a time.
As for Spokane County, they say they're also putting de-icer in areas that are prone to black ice. I'm here reporting in snowy Spokane. Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Regan, thank you. And in sports tonight, a big game down on the Palouse as the Gonzaga men's basketball team traveled to Pullman to face the Washington State Cougars in front of a sellout crowd at Beasley Coliseum. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn is joining us now live in Pullman with the WSU head coach David Riley. Andrew.
Yeah, good evening, Whitney. As you can see behind me, the crowd is starting to fill in. The Zags and the Cougs getting their shoot-arounds going, and I'm pleased to welcome in the head coach of the WSU Cougars. He is David Riley. And Coach, I feel like this is a game you dreamt of when you took this job, when you know it's going to be a full house here in Beasley Coliseum. What are you most looking forward to, and what have you kind of told your players about coming into a game like tonight with a full crowd in here?
You know, for us, we got to stick to what we're doing and play a full 40 minutes. I feel like this crowd's helped us at home throughout the year, and to have a packed house tonight is going to be great, and it's going to feed off their energy.
And then just talk to me a little bit about the first matchup. Obviously, you guys had a good start. Then at halftime, coming out of the half, it was a little bit like the St. Mary's game. They kind of put the pedal down a little bit, and you guys weren't able to get back in it. Coming off of what happened on Saturday, watching the tape, how can you kind of make adjustments heading into tonight?
You know, I think for us, we got to find ways to be the aggressors coming out of halftime. I think we've done that early in games, and we've done that throughout games, but we got to stay consistent for 40 minutes.
And then, you know, you didn't have Isaiah Watts in the first game. How much does it help having a defensive presence like that and also another shooter who can space the floor?
You know, there's a lot of ways that Isaiah helps us. Obviously, his defense and being another great perimeter defender. But his offense, his ability to create and shoot, I think it'll be great to have his energy on the court.
And then 3 of their 4 bigs were in double figures in the first game. Obviously, Morauskas got you guys on Saturday. How can you kind of clean up? You have a big team. How do you kind of challenge those guys coming into a game like tonight?
We got to fly around. We got to protect the paint, and that's where this game's going to be won, in the paint. So we got to have that mindset all night.
And then, you know, just a little bit more about this crowd. Obviously, it's going to be a raucous, rowdy environment. It'll be your first time seeing a full house here at Beasley. What does that mean for you and the program moving forward, that you're going to have a game like this on the schedule every year?
You know, it's great for us. It's great for college basketball to have these regional rivalries. And I think it's just going to be a fun night, and it's going to be a fun game going forward.
All right, well, best of luck tonight, Dave. Appreciate you joining us. The Cougs and the Zags tip-off is set for 6 p.m. If you can't get down here tonight, you can catch the game nationally televised on ESPN2. For now, reporting at Beasley Coliseum, Andrew Quinn, KREM 2 Sports.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. And we are just getting started here on KREM 2 News at 5. Coming up, a plea deal for the suspects involved in vandalizing a local church. Tonight, members of that church are speaking out. And 3 veterans were recently laid off as part of President Trump's economy policy. We're going to share their stories just after the break.